How the Bible Was Formed, the world's most influential book. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because today we're taking a wild ride through thousands of years of history. Mystery, divine inspiration, political drama, and epic storytelling. This is the incredible true story of how the Bible, yes, the Bible came to be.
Ever wonder how this ancient
Sacred book with 66 books written by 40 authors over more than 1,000 years in 3 different languages across 3 continents actually came together? Let's rewind. It's all the way back. Way back. Part 1. It all started with stories. Long before the Bible was a book, it was an oral tradition. That's right. It began as stories passed down around campfires under starry skies. Think Abraham telling his kids about his journey from yore, or Moses recounting that crazy sea-splitting escape from Egypt. These weren't bedtime stories. These were identity-shaping, covenant-forming, nation-defining accounts that people memorized, sang, chanted, and repeated word for word, generation after generation. But eventually, people started writing things down. Part 2. The Old Testament. From scrolls to scripture. Around 1400 to 400 BC, the Hebrew Bible, what Christians call the Old Testament, started taking shape. Moses is traditionally credited with writing the first 5 books, Genesis through Deuteronomy, also known as the Torah. Cue the scribes. These guys were the real MVPs, painstakingly copying texts by hand, letter by letter. If they messed up, rip it up. Start over. Accuracy was everything. Over time, more books were added. History, like Joshua King's Chronicles, poetry, Psalms, Proverbs, prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, and those poor minor prophets who don't get enough love. By the 2nd century BC, most of the Hebrew scriptures were recognized by Jewish communities. But then something huge happened. Greek culture exploded across the known world. So around 250 BC, scholars translated the Hebrew scriptures into Greek. That translation is called the Septuagint, and it's a big deal. It had extra books, later called the Apocrypha, and it was the Bible, Jesus, and the apostles often quoted from. Part 3. Enter the New Testament. Eyewitnesses, letters, and Gospels. Fast forward to the 1st century AD, Jesus of Nazareth appears on the scene. Live, teaches, dies, resurrects, and his followers start writing. The earliest Christian writings, not the Gospels, but letters, like Paul's epistles. These were real-time responses to real issues like, hey Corinthians, stop being weird at church. Galatians, quit mixing law with grace. Romans, here's Theology 101. Then came the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, written between 60 and 100 AD. Preserving the life and teachings of Jesus. By the end of the 1st century, most of the New Testament had been written. But now comes the real question. Part 4. Who decided what made the cut? So how did these books become the Bible? Great question. The early church used many writings, but not all were equal. So church leaders started asking, was it written by an apostle or someone close to one? Is it consistent with accepted teaching? Is it widely used by churches? The Muratorian fragment from around 170 AD gives us one of the first glimpses of what Christians considered authoritative. But it wasn't until councils like Hippo, 393 AD in Carthage, 397 AD, that the 27 books of the New Testament were officially recognized as canon, meaning measuring stick or standard. And no, contrary to popular myths, the Bible wasn't cooked up in a secret meeting like a conspiracy thriller. It was a process. Centuries long, guided by community, faith, scholarship, and yes, politics. Part 5. Translations, tribulations, and the printing press. With the canon recognized, now came the mission to get it into people's hands. But there was a problem. For centuries, the Bible was mainly in Latin. The Vulgate, translated by Jerome around 400 AD, beautiful, but few could read it. Cue the heroes. John Wycliffe, 1300s, translated the Bible into English, by hand. William Tyndale, 1500s, printed it and was executed for it. Then came the Gutenberg Press in 1455, and boom, the Bible goes viral. Then, in 1611, along came the majestic, spletic King James Version, a literary masterpiece that shaped English for centuries. Today, the Bible is in over 3,500 languages, with new ones being added every year. Why it still matters? So here's the kicker. The Bible didn't fall from the sky. It was forged through faith, fire, persecution, love, and persistence. It's not just a book. It's a library, a history, a revelation, a movement. It's the story of people encountering God, and how those stories changed the world. And guess what? That story's not over yet. Thanks for joining us on this epic journey. Now go read it, question it, explore it, because the Bible, it's not just about history. It is from God.